Hello, and welcome to Cull the Weak. I am your host, Brobnar89. In this show, I will be opening a brand new Keyforge deck. I will be playing a few games with it. I will walk you through the third and final game, and at the end of that game, I will need to decide whether I keep the deck or sell it on decks of Keyforge. Got a brand new deck I just opened here. The Councillor of Antlitton. Yes, also from Coda. This is the second deck I'm looking at from this box. I decided not to keep the last one, so go ahead and see what is in this second box here. Okay, so you've got Brobnar, Mars, and Shadows. The first thing that I see here is 2 key abductions. With 2 of them, you are more likely to be able to put yourself in a position where you'll be able to use the key abduction to actually forge. It'll be more likely to come up when you need it. But with only 5 creatures, it could be tough. The Thinkodrome can help. It's a little bit slow. The Zizix can help as well, as can the Biomatrix backup. So there's, it's possible. Let's see what else we've got. We've got 3 punches. Oh, I like that. An Amber and 3 damage. You could take care of some serious stuff here. You've got Anger, Double War Song. Double War Song's not going to be so great with 3 punches. Kind of, we've got 6 creatures, maybe 5 that will fight. We've got a Smash and a War Drummer, so we can do some combos there. Blood of the Titans. Okay, yeah. So there's not too many fighting Brobnar. So this War Song might just get you 1 or 2. You're not going to get a big play out of it, but I do like all the pips on the punches. Looking over at Shadows, going to hope for some Amber control because we don't see a whole lot in the rest of the deck. Okay, Finishing Blow, that's nifty. Double Ghostly Hand, so this deck wants to go fast. Hidden Stash, so you can get more into the archive. So this deck wants to go fast and key abduct. We've got a Skeleton Key, we've got Relentless Whispers, so there's a Dodger, Umbra, Urchin. Okay, so there's some Amber control, but it's only little bits and pieces. You don't have a big, there's no too much to protect. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I like rush decks, I think they're fun, it's exhilarating, it feels kind of like a gamble. I like trying to go fast and forge, and 2 key abductions is just with all this archiving potential, there's a number of ways that I feel like you could get the key abduction off. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my first game, and I will see you back for the third game. Alright, I'm about ready to hop into my third game. Just a quick review of what went on in game number 1 and game number 2. Started the first game with the Zookeeper, a Zizix, a Mothership, and of course key abduction in my hand. Now, I knew that it wasn't the smart play, I knew it wasn't the prudent play, but it was the play I wanted to make work. So I played down the Mars, except for the key abduction, and I tried to get some creatures into my archive so that I could make the key abduction work on my future turn. But of course my creatures got fought down. I was constantly 1 short of getting enough to make the key abduction happen. Little disappointed about not getting the key cheat off, but I do tend to fall into that trap of just wanting to get the key cheat more than actually wanting to win. In game number 2, I tried to go for a more balanced approach, tried to not fall into the same key abduction trap. But of course, in the second game, I pulled into 2 Zizix in my opening hand, so naturally threw them down. I got a Blood of the Titans onto one of them, made him nice and big and beefy, and then he managed to fight down a number of annoying little Star Alliance critters while dropping various creatures into my archive. First I put some Shadows in there because it just made sense at the time. I ended up pulling those rather than holding on to them and hoping for a draw into key abduction, which was the right call. I stole a little bit with my Urchin off of that. I did not get either of my key abductions until the very end of the game. By that time, of course, I'd put a few Brobnar creatures into my archive and had enough that on my final turn, I was able to reap a bunch with Mars and would have had enough to key abduct, but of course, my opponent had played stealth mode on the previous turn. So I didn't get the key abduction off, but I did still manage to take the game. It was 2 keys to 2 keys. He had 5 on that final turn and couldn't keep me off. Still seems like the key abduction is good here, but maybe you don't want to try to focus your play around getting the key abduction off. You will end up missing out on smaller plays that end up being more consequential throughout the course of the game. Let's see if I can make those better play decisions during the third game here. Take a quick look at his deck list. What did he bring? He brought Coda, Brobnar, Dis, and Sanctum. We've got a Loot the Bodies and a War Song. Okay, he wants to generate some amber by fighting. So he's got some serious burst potential with his Brobnar there. We've got Dis. This is a powerful deck. We've got Dis with Arise and Control the Weak. Let's see, what kind of creatures does he have? He's got a Drumble and 2 Shoolers that he can pull back. Stealer of Souls, Succubus, Hecatomb, so he can blow up his own guys. Hysteria, so he can get a lot of value out of those Shoolers. This is definitely a very strong deck here. Sanctum. Doorstep to Heaven, I'm going to need to keep note of that. Look for it. Not a lot you can do, but, you know, it helps making a judgment as to what, like, should I fight or should I go up to 12 amber? Well, you should probably fight because there's a good chance that you'll get the doorstep dropped on ya. Blinding Light, Shield of Justice, okay. So he's got a lot of capture in Sanctum, a couple of take hostages, got a lot of interesting stuff, and I like this opening hand. Look at all that Brobnar I got. Yeah, with an Anger. War Drummer's not going to do too much, but I like this. What do I want to start with? I go first, so we'll keep hand, and I think we'll probably start with the Mugwump so that I can reap with it, and then War Drummer and put it back down and then fight with it or reap with it if he doesn't have anything. I think I like that. Alright, so for my first little mini turn here, we're calling Brobnar, put down the Mugwump, and end turn. Alright, my opponent has also gone Brobnar. He put down his Valdir, put down his Headhunter. That's good. That gives me something for my Mugwump to fight. And also my punches are going to be able to take out the Valdir. So, we are going Brobnar. So, we are going to reap with the Mugwump here. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up with the War Drummer. Punch the Valdir. Punch the Valdir again. And then the Mugwump is going to come back down. It's going to fight into the Headhunter. There we go, and we got the +1 and the fully healed. Beautiful. And drew into a lot of shadows. Look at all those pips. Lots of pips on my shadows right there. Looks like my opponent is going Sanctum. Played his Raiding Knight down, capture 1, got a Remiel, and another Remiel. Alright, so I have lots of shadows. I have some options here. I could go shadows and just get a big burst. Or I can go Brobnar again and do some fighting and gain some amber with Warsong there. I think because that will put me into check and make good use of the board that I have right now, I think I want to do that. So the question is, do I reap with the War Drummer or do I fight it? I think I want to fight it. I think I want to get rid of these Remiels here. That house interplay is just too strong. Even though he doesn't have a board right now, Brobnar wants to fight. And I don't have any other Brobnar, so I'm almost certainly not going to go Brobnar again on my next turn, so yeah, no way. Alright, so it looks like my opponent's gone Dis. He stole one with a Schuler to get me off check. He Hysteria'd and played down a Hecatomb just for an amber. Played the Schuler once again to steal another one, and then he put his Stealer of Souls down, and it is back to me. So I'm going to go Shadows. I've got all these pips, might as well use them. Start with the Poison Wave. Put some damage on his dudes. Let's use the Finishing Blow to finish that off. Hidden Stash. I'm going to put the Mugwump away for now, just because I've already gone through some Brobnar and I don't expect to see a whole lot more anytime soon. Okay, so I'm up to 8. Now there is a chance that he has the Doorstep. That's really the only big amber control thing that I'm worried about in this deck. And so it's not too bad if I play this and then I end up losing it. I just lose the amber, right? It's not too bad. It would be annoying, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. So I think I play it just because I don't want to have cards clogging my hand here. And then just hope that he doesn't have it in his hand. We'll see if he goes Sanctum. Look, I drew into another one, so, you know, don't want to clog that hand up for sure. He is going Sanctum. This is bad news for me. Okay, so he's played the Blinding Light for an amber. Got a Remiel down. Okay, he did not play the Gateway, or the Doorstep. He did not play the Doorstep. I always say Doorstep. He did not play the Doorstep. So that's really good. He did capture 2 onto his Schuler there. That is fine. I am totally fine with that. So let's forge the blue key. And I think the obvious choice here is to go Mars. Yeah, Shadows is not going to do me too much good. Put down the Marauder. Down the Thinkadrome. Put down the Zizix. Now the question is, what creature do I want to put the backup onto? I think I like the idea of putting it onto the Zizix, just because Zizix can really help me to move through my cards, get stuff into the archive from my hand as opposed to from play with the Thinkadrome, which is a little bit more efficient and going to help me get to that key charge a little bit easier. Get to that key charge by ability. Okay, so I didn't draw the key charge, which is unfortunate. I'm about halfway through, so I would hope to have it by now. Hopefully all of my Mars critters don't die so that I can make that happen. Well, he took out one of my Mars creatures. And he stunned the Zizix with his Smash. So I think Shadows is the right play here. I can kill off his Smash and steal one with the Relentless Whispers. Get 2 off the Ghostly Hand and then get Umbra down. That's going to put me to 7, which is just enough that I feel pretty good about it, and I'm not too scared of the Doorstop. Alright, so play down the Whispers. Get rid of that Smash. Play down the Ghostly Hand for 2. And Umbra comes down. He has chosen Dis. He is playing a Schuler to steal 1. I wonder if he's got some trick that he's going to use so he can get another one off me. Succubus comes down. He's fighting off my Umbra. And he used the Arise to bring the Stealer of Souls back. He's probably not feeling too good about that. Not a lot of value out of an Arise there. And I get to Forge. I'm feeling pretty good. I've got 2 keys to his none. He is down at 4 amber. So as much as I really want to make the play for the key charge, I think the responsible play here is to go Brobnar, play creatures down, and smash his Stealer so that he can't purge my stuff. There we go. Alright. Having some connection issues today. Alright, so making a responsible play here. Pulling the archives. Smash is going to go into the Stealer of Souls, so he can't purge anything of mine. That card is just way too valuable, and especially since he used a Rise just to get the Stealer back, I feel like he really wants to purge something, so I'm just going to be annoying and deny him that possibility. Now the question is, do I want to put Blood of the Titans onto my Mugwump so I can have an even bigger, nastier thing that just fights and doesn't die? Or do I want to put it onto my Zizix so that Zizix can do a lot of putting stuff into the archive? I feel like at this point, with how far ahead I am and how the game has been going so far, I think it probably makes more sense on Mugwump, because I don't think the key charge is going to happen. I think that my more responsible line of play is to just try to just generate Amber and get myself into check here. Also, if I put it onto the Mugwump, I have a shot at killing off the Stealer of Souls with the Mugwump, and that would just be really mean. Especially if he unstuns it on his next turn here. Which is exactly what he is doing. Okay, so he unstunned his Stealer. What's he going to do? He's going to reap a bunch. Ooh, I'm so glad I didn't put the Mugwump in the middle. Okay, he got rid of my troll with his Hand of Dis. Very happy with my placement choices right now. And it looks like he's gonna reap and reap again. Okay. Okay, so I have interesting choices. I can go Mars. I can get up to 7 by playing the Zizix, readying it with Squawker, reaping with this Zizix and with Squawker, or with the Marauder, and then playing the Mothership. With the Mothership I can put 2 damage onto there, take it out, and then I can either take out the Succubus or I can damage the Stealer of Souls. My other line of play would be to go Brobnar and to kill the Stealer of Souls with the Mugwump and kill the Schuler with the Smash. I think I like the Mars line more because I get so much Amber out of it. Use those Mars creatures while they're there. The question is what to get rid of with the Mothership. The Succubus is really annoying, but the Stealer of Souls could do some big damage. It could really hurt me if he purges my stuff. And while I can't kill it, I can damage it enough to make it not useful to him. I think the Stealer of Souls is the right call because I really don't want him to purge my stuff. That would be really bad. Alright, so play the Zizix down. Ready with the Squawker. Now the mothership support comes down. We're gonna kill that. And come on. There we go. And we're gonna do the rest of the damage onto the Stealer of Souls. Unstun this. Alright, I'm gonna reap with the Zizix here. Archive. The Pingle. Archive the Pringle. And now I'm going to reap with the Marauder. So even if he gets me off check here, yep, I did. I drew the key abduction. So even if he gets me off check here, I feel like there's a pretty good chance I can get the victory with the key abduction here. And he was not able to get me off of check, and I won right there. Win outright. What a game. Interesting. Well, there's that. I am surprised. I did not think that I would win against this deck. Honestly, I thought his deck had me for sure. I mean, this is just a really strong deck. Like, lots of really powerful cards in there. I am pretty impressed. Just to take a quick look back, I think the part of what helped a lot was the poll. Obviously, that always helps when you get a good poll, but having all the Brobnar come out first was really solid for me. They did a lot of good work at the beginning. That Mugwump was just kind of fighting stuff down. My punches eliminated the rest of his beginning board state there. I really like those 3 punches. That's great. And then it left my deck, you know, obviously kind of more Shadows and Mars based for the rest of the game, which is great. Shadows did a lot of good stealing for me in the middle part of the game. Just managed to keep him off check for almost the entire game there. It wasn't until the very end that he forged. And then the Mars, you know, there's always that threat of the key abduction. It never worked out, but I definitely think I found the right balance with this deck of not leaning into the key abduction too much and trying too hard to make it happen. Just kind of playing with knowing that it's there, but not focusing the entire gameplay around it, and kind of giving away the game while trying to make the key abduction happen. So overall, it was a good game. I was pretty impressed with it. Now's the hard part. I've been trying to put this off in case it wasn't obvious. What to do? This is a neat deck. I have to say, I enjoyed it. The key abduction was not as relevant as I thought it was going to be. Maybe there's just not enough board stickiness in Mars to make it pull off a lot, because the creatures are all pretty small. And so even with the Zizix, they'll often just get picked off, so you just don't quite have enough to make it happen, even though there's 2 key abductions. A battle fleet would have also helped make it work. Maybe a battle fleet instead of one of the key abductions or something like that. Or if it had the Dominator instead of maybe the Zookeeper. The Brobnar were pretty interesting. Double Warsong was really nice with the Mugwump, because he really wants to fight, right? But Mugwump and War Drummer don't necessarily go together super well. It worked out in this game, but it doesn't always. I feel like more fighting abilities from either the hand or the Gauntlet of Command would have been nice. Like if you had a few Chieftains or another Anger, that would have helped a lot to make the War Song more valuable. I did like Triple Punch. Amber and 3 damage is great, but it didn't fit in with what the rest of the Brobnar is doing, right? It didn't fit in with the double War Song super well. The shadows were definitely helpful. Lots of little bits of pick off one amber here or there. Bad Penny was kind of a dead card. It only really mattered if you had Relentless Whispers in hand. Double Ghostly Hand is great for that burst of amber, but I think the shadows would have been a bit more powerful if it had a big amber play like Bait and Switch or Too Much to Protect. So overall, definitely a fun deck, some interesting combos going on, but I think I'm going to have to Cull the Weak here, just because it didn't quite come together in the way that I was hoping it would. Looking for a stronger deck in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Cull the Weak. I've been your host, Robnar89. Be sure to check in next time to see if I will find a deck that I will add to my collection, or if I will continue to Cull the Weak.